Meaghan Smith performs the holiday show at the stage at St. Andrews in Halifax.
Yep,
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Happy holidays.
You too.
And tell me, what's life been like for Meaghan lately?
It's been really great. I have to say, my kids are growing up. I'm writing songs full time. I'm doing a Christmas show. I get to say I just want to do one show a year in my hometown. It's like my own version of like a Vegas residency, but it's in Halifax and it's in support of Feed Nova Scotia. So yeah, things are good.
All right, the charity, it's pretty easy to choose. Tell me why you landed on Feed Nova Scotia.
Because everybody needs food. That's really it. Everybody needs shelter, food, water, clothing. I just picked one of those four. People also need love and acceptance. And I will also offer that at my shows. Everybody's welcome. But yeah, I have a relationship with Feed Nova Scotia. I've done a lot of work with them over the years. I love working with them and for them and supporting people, and food is delicious. Unconditional
love and acceptance.
Yeah.
You've been working in this music industry for quite a while, but you were ahead of a curve, I felt, by moving away from the publishers and the companies, and you took ownership of that. And part was, my understanding, was to help connect people with music in a way that was more personal. Is that a fair assessment?
That is a really good assessment, yeah. There were a few reasons I stepped away from touring and being with my label, but I really liked my label. But yeah, I got this idea that I wanted to write custom songs for people, and it turned out to be something a lot of people were really interested in. So I've been doing that full time for 7 years. 7 years now. Wow. Yeah, and I retain all the publishing, and sometimes my music ends up in really interesting places.
And you mentioned that, and of course I can't not mention the list that was provided to me. It says it's shown up on Jimmy Fallon, American Idol, So You Think You Can Dance, 60 Minutes, The Friends Reunion, others. Tell me a little bit about how exciting it is to have a connection outside of the initial intention that you wrote that song.
Yeah, it's amazing. So somebody will reach out to me and say, I'm celebrating my 30th wedding anniversary. Can you write a song for my lovely wife? And I'm like, yes, for sure. It sounds great. So I write them a song, but I retain the rights to the publishing. So then I work with a publisher, and different film and TV productions are always looking for music. And lately they've just been finding a lot of my music, which is really exciting. So then I can then take that same song with the permission of my inspirer, of course. But I then take that song and release it to film and TV. And so it turns up in all those great shows that you mentioned, and some other shows that I don't personally watch. But the coolest thing is when I get emails or messages from fans and people I know from all over the world being like, I just heard you on this commercial, I just heard you on this store. I got a message the other day from my friend Jill Barber in Portland, Oregon, and she was like, she just took a little video of me singing to her in this like store. It's so cool, it's so connective.
And clearly there's a musical community, a supportive musical community in the Maritimes.
Yes.
How many people are asking you, okay, you did this and it's worked well, tell me more about how to do that?
A lot of people, a lot of musicians, and I am more than happy to help. I think it's a tumultuous industry, things are constantly changing, and you have to think outside the box and really do what works for you, which is exactly what I did. Pretty soon on, when I became a mother, I was like, okay, touring with kids is not gonna work for me, so I need another option to be a full-time musician, employ my husband, who is my producer now, and not travel, and this was the custom songwriting, and it's just really worked out. You know, during COVID, when a lot of my friends were suffering because their tours were canceled, I was able to hire some of them to play with us on our songs, and I'm just up for encouraging all artists to do things their own way.
I love that Vegas residency. So the Christmas show, the holiday show. How did you put that together? Tell me about the song choices. And clearly, if you have songs in your catalog that you've written for others, there might be some of those songs that show up?
100%.
Okay.
Well, so we're going to be doing mostly Christmas songs, which I have written a lot of Christmas songs. I have like 2 Christmas albums, and I've just released a new Christmas song this year. So I'm doing a lot of Christmas songs that people know, some new ones, some that I've written, and then yeah, we're also going to do some of those special custom our song. I call them our songs that I've written for other people. We're going to have a wonderful time. It's being sponsored by Sobeys, so Sobeys going to provide some treats and hot drinks, And I got word that a very jolly certain somebody from up north is going to be stopping by too. So
Well, that works out to your
it's gonna
favor,
be
doesn't
fun.
it?
Yeah.
And their schedule's pretty busy this time of the year for sure.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on, but it's a priority for him. So yeah.
When people buy tickets and they have an idea that they may be familiar with some of the music that you've done, It Snowed. That's a huge one.
Is
Is that the biggest one so far that's kind of...
Yeah. It's like that's like my precious gemstone song that I wrote. That is part of people's holiday traditions. That is so fun for me, and like one of the biggest compliments / insults I ever received was quite a high profile person asking who I covered. So they thought it was a cover that I could never have written, but I corrected them very quickly and was like, no, I wrote this one. They thought it was like a classic cover though. So that was like a real big compliment / insult. I took it as a compliment though, because why wouldn't you?
Well,
you have the choice.
It wasn't that jerk David Miles, was it? No, I'm sorry. His version, I love his version.
I love his version too.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. But I think because
And he's not a jerk, by the way.
No, he's amazing. He's a very good friend. Because other people are starting to cover it, I think they're wondering, like, what's the original?
Yeah.
And it's, it sounds like a classic. Though I say it myself, it does sound like a classic. Like it could have been written 50 years ago or like, a couple years ago. So I hope that more people want to cover it and it just becomes a part of more people's tradition.
It's going to be obviously featured on the show. Did you write it on guitar? Or?
I did. I wrote it on guitar. It was actually a writing assignment from my friends at CBC Radio. They asked myself and my friends Jill Barber and Rose Cousins, we were working on a Christmas project together. They asked us to each write our own Christmas songs, and people say this, but I wrote it in like a half hour. It was
one of
so
those,
fast and
just
easy.
Hit you?
It just came to me, and I was like, that moment where you wake up and you had a bunch of stuff planned. Maybe you had to go to school or work, but then you wake up and it's like a snow bomb exploded, and there's just snow all over, and you can't go anywhere. Everything's canceled. It's the best feeling for me anyway. I'm like, yes, it snowed. It snowed. It snowed last night. And then I was like, okay, that's it. That's the song. And it just came really fast.
When people talk about being a conduit, that it doesn't...
I felt like that, yeah.
What really makes me curious is that you've been doing this. It's not like you just woke up and you were a carpenter yesterday. And then all of a sudden you're writing music. So it was in your wheelhouse. So was it the key? Was it the chord change? What was it or the lyric itself that just made that come together so quickly for you?
That feeling of exuberation, of everything being canceled, of having a day to do whatever you want, and there to be a huge blanket of fresh snow that nobody stepped in, and it's super glittery and it's like blinding your eyes because it's so bright. That was the feeling, and I was like, I want to capture that feeling with the lyrics and the melody and the production and everything. I want it to be about that feeling, yeah.
So you've got young children.
I do, yeah.
And the season that we're just about to enter is so magical. Before you know, I don't want to be that person to say they're going to grow up so quickly, but they will.
Yeah.
How do you hold on to that magic? What do they do to inspire you this time of year?
What do my children do to inspire me? I love that question. They're so thoughtful. My children, like all children, are magical, and I feel so lucky to be my kids' mom. They want to help other people. They think about other people. They're out in the world, and they're like, oh, can I put this on my Christmas list? But then they're also like, my friend so and so would really love that, or we should make some cards for these people. So when it comes to doing a benefit show for an incredible organization like Feed Nova Scotia, they really inspire me to think about others, think about our community, and like just to be a better person and to make the world better for them and other children. That's it. That sounds so trite, but that's what motivates me. A lot of the people who benefit from the food bank are families, women, and families with young children, and men as well with children. So, it's really meaningful to me.
Where this is in support of Feed Nova Scotia, is it by bringing a donation, a cash donation, as a part of the ticket? I'm curious how it is that they're going to benefit from your show.
A large portion of the ticket sales will be going to Feed Nova Scotia. Basically, we're covering our costs, and then everything else goes to Feed Nova Scotia. And I'll be asking people to donate at the show as well. it's easier. Feed Nova Scotia does food drives, but it's easier for them if they have money and cash that they can then take to vendors and buy what they know they need. So that's how I've chosen to support them this year. And I'm hoping that others come to a fun concert, have a wonderful, magical holiday experience, and support our community in this way.
So is it like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, that it's interactive with the audience?
100%.
Okay. Bring your newspapers.
I don't know about
throw
the
your toast.
Rocky Horror Picture Show, but we're going to be doing some sing-alongs, so bring your singing chops. I'm going to be giving out some prizes. There's going to be, somebody's going to have to come on stage and help me play my Omnichord, which is always like a fun part of the show. So yeah, I'm hoping people show up ready to sing, ready to get musical.
Omnichord?
Yeah.
What's an Omnichord?
You guys don't know what an Omnichord is?
No, I might if you describe it.
You got to come to my show.
Okay.
Okay, an Omnichord is it's like an electronic auto harp. It's like a vintage electronic auto harp from the 80s. And you like play the chords with this hand, and then there's this like, I'm not doing it justice. It's like
so it's like an auto harp, but you plug it in.
Yes, but it's super funky and cool, and it does all these like, dorky drum beats and stuff. It's my jam. Anyway, I'll be playing that, and somebody always comes on stage and plays it with me. It's really fun.
It sounds like an adventure for sure.
Yeah.
we talked a little bit about finding inspiration through children and the magic through their eyes and the songs that just come to you. And I've lately been asking people about spirituality and where they're at in their life. And we've just come through the pandemic. Clearly, there's still people who are, living with the effects of that. And I'm wondering what that did to. Was there a shift in you at all? Do you feel that there was any change in you going through what we did, which right now is unimaginable? You think about it, shutting down the world for months, and then this slow release back into, the world that is.
Yeah, it's such a good question, because Christmas is technically a Christian holiday, right? But I don't identify as such, and I think really what COVID did for me, a big thing that it did for me, was it helped me see the broader picture. I feel like I stopped being so busy in my own bubble, and I woke up to a lot of things that were going on for other people that I wasn't aware of. And I feel like it helped me be more open-minded, more considerate of others. It just helped me feel more connected with others. I think losing some connection made me want more connection. And so when it comes to spirituality and the holidays, I don't really know. My spiritual journey is constantly evolving. I don't really know where I'm at with it even, but I do know that for me, this time of year is about light, bringing light into a world that's getting darker, and helping others, and generosity and warmth and caring and kindness. So that's what I'm hoping to portray with this concert.
The golden rule, do
Yeah.
unto others.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing a bit of what it's going to be like for this experience. We didn't say where tickets are. Actually, I did try, and the QR code will work.
QR code works.
Yes. So if
I
you
made
want to
sure.
get tickets, you can just do
That's
that,
right.
or go to Meaghan,
Go to my website.
MeaghanSmith.com. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
And what's next? What comes from not just this holiday and afterwards, but what comes next for Meaghan Smith in your career, in your life?
More and more custom songs. Reach out to me. I want to hear your story. I want to write your song. And probably another holiday show next year. It's my residency. Every year I plan to do this and help Nova Scotia and help feed Nova Scotia and the community. So I'm envisioning an Elvis cape or something. Maybe. Maybe. You never know. Rhinestones and stuff. I'm into it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Continued success.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.